This is the Dr. Chris Radio of Horror Show, 91.3 FM, WCW in Worcester. If you're not catching us on the recorded interview, hopefully you're catching us on the Radio Horror YouTube channel. Tonight on the show, we have Lexi, the creator of the Soapus Pocus bath bombs, which I love that name. Thank you for coming on the show, Lexi.
It's no problem at all. It's my pleasure.
Soapus Pocus. That is a delightful name.
Thank you so much. It took my boyfriend and I a while to come up with it.
Did you spend like hours upon hours deliberating over like what this is going to be?
Yeah, it took honestly 2 days. I have a list in my notes of the names that I did have, but as soon as I came up with Soapus Pocus, we were like, oh, that's the one.
What made you get into making like horrific bath bombs and bath accessories and stuff in the horror kind of gothic genre that you happen to be soaked in? You soak in the bathtub. And also,
Gotcha.
if you like look at what Lexi looks like on like the pictures that we'll post on the YouTube channel, you'll see that she's like goth and hard, tragic and pale and creepy looking.
And spooky.
Yes, spooky and hideous and just absolutely terrifying, which is all compliments.
Gnarly.
If you watch The Addams Family or something, those are all compliments to a goth chick.
Yup.
Instead of beautiful, it's hideously gothic and terrifying.
Monstrous.
Yes, you don't say have a pleasant
Creepy.
evening. You say have an unpleasant evening and have nightmare-filled, horrific dreams of being murdered. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
That's so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. But back to my question.
So yeah, basically when I was like 16 or 17 and I was still in high school, and straight out of high school too, I just decided one day that I wanted to make bath bombs. So I started doing it and I was like, hey, I could probably sell these. So I started a little shop, and my old followers will know what I'm talking about. And I had it open for like a little over a year, and I did these Pokeball bath bombs. So they looked like Pokeballs, and on the inside was a little Pokemon toy. And those were a huge hit. It got on like BuzzFeed and stuff. It was crazy. So I did that for like a year, but then I went to cosmetology school, and I couldn't juggle working part-time, going to school full-time, and then also having a business on the side. So the demand for the products was too high, so I had to just stop doing it. And then recently, I decided to start making soap, and then that turned into, oh, well, I want to start making bath bombs again since I already know how to do it, but now I can make them cooler. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
What do you have to? What's the process to putting like one of these together based on the different designs you have? Like you have skulls and you have cauldrons and coffins and creatures that go bump in the night.
They do go bump in the night and in the bathtub. It honestly is kind of a long process. It really just depends on the person, I guess. Like first time making it, it's pretty difficult, but once you get the hang of it, it's not so bad. It's kind of like science. Like you have to mix certain ingredients at a certain time and then mix those together, and then you have to mix other ingredients on the side and then also add those to the other mixture, and you have to make sure like there's not too much of one thing, because if there's too much of one thing, then it's not going to work and you have to restart from scratch. So it's a long process.
What's the most frustrating thing about being a this type of unique artist?
Not wanting to look exactly like everyone else's products, if you get what I mean. Like I still want mine to be unique in my own way, even if it had been done before. So I guess that is the difficult part, because everything has been done in this world. You just have to make it your own in your own unique style.
Did you have to learn a lot of like chemistry kind of components for this type of stuff? Because I wouldn't even know where to begin on how to put something like this together.
Not too much. It's not like super difficult ingredients. There's a couple of things that can be difficult to learn to work with. I know there's this one ingredient I use that I had a lot of issues with at first. It took me a really long time, I think like 2 weeks until I got it down, and I was doing it every single day until I finally perfected it. That's about it.
We were talking on Twitter about molds for something like Jaws, but you were saying trying to find a mold for a shark that works for you is rather difficult. Where do you get molds for these type of these bath bombs?
I usually get most of my molds from Etsy, but you can get them pretty much anywhere, like eBay, Amazon. You can even go to the craft stores, like your local craft stores. They have some too, but they never have really cool ones. So all the cool ones are on Etsy or other small shops like Shopify and stuff like that.
How many different designs do you have?
Oh God, I have way too many to count. There's no way. There's got to be like 25, maybe more than that. I have a lot.
Do you retire any and like bring them back? And once you sell out of them, do you kind of move on to different other things?
No, I keep my, well, when I first started, I did have a ghost and bat that I used to do. I never did the bat or the ghost after the first time I did it, just because I didn't like it, so I just decided to scrap it. But most things I do bring back, but one particular soap, the Scream one, won't be back for a while because my mold has broken, sadly.
The Scream one, like the Scream TV, the movies?
Yeah, it's a ghost face.
Oh, did you know that
it's like a little rectangular black bar soap with the ghost face on it.
Did you know that VH1 has picked up the 3rd season of the MTV TV series?
I did not know that.
Yeah, and the original Ghostface mask is coming back, as well as Roger Jackson, who was the voice on the phone as the killer.
That's so cool. I'll have to check that out then.
You have 25 different designs. Do you ever worry about that you've overdone it on one particular thing, or is it a learning curve to make sure that you're always keeping everything original and unique?
I mean, I try my best to keep it as unique as possible, but again, it's just hard in a world full of people that have done literally everything. And I try to restock things that I'm asked most about, like my Jason mask, Thank God It's Friday. That one gets asked for a lot.
Jason mask, what was it called?
I call it Thank God It's Friday. It's a bar of soap of Jason's mask, and there's blood splatter all over it.
Do you ever have to deal with any kind of like copyright problem with anything that is like Jason or Ghostface?
So far, no, not really. There's plenty of other artists that do what I do in like kind of the same way, and they don't seem to be having any problems either.
There's a lawsuit going on with Friday the 13th right now. Were you aware of it?
I was not aware of that, actually.
Jason's 2 fathers, Victor Miller and Sean Cunningham, have been fighting it out in court for the last 4 years, and it's put a kibosh on any script movie being made. The video game had to be canceled, and NECA Toys is now the newest. NECA Toys and Mondo Records are the newest victims of the lawsuit that have to have a cease and desist on any and all Jason licensed products whatsoever.
Oh my goodness, that sounds like a mess.
Yeah, so anytime anybody's making money on Jason, they have to be the lawyers for Victor Miller or Sean Cunningham put an end to it, so that way no one's making any money on while the lawsuit's ongoing until they figure out who owns Jason's rights, Friday the 13th rights.
Makes sense, but I also think that if you're not claiming the character as your own or the design is like your own, I guess it's okay, because it doesn't say anywhere in there that it's like Jason's mask. It just says, "Thank God it's Friday," and then everyone just kind of gets it, you know?
Yeah, no, that's fine, because that's like a parody too, and parodies are actually okay.
Yeah, see, that's kind of like what it is to me, because I'm not claiming that I made Jason or whatever, you know what I mean? So I think that's where it's different for as far as copyright things go. Kind of like fan art. It's kind of like what it is.
Right.
But it's soap.
The Ouija boards are also kind of cute. I know some people have some issues with Ouija boards being like, they're going to do something, and it's like, not really.
Oh my God, yeah, I had a few people on Twitter being like, I don't want to accidentally summon a demon. My grandma warned me about these, and I'm like, it's just soap. It's not going to hurt you.
Yeah, and
but
also
I understand. It scares some people.
I don't get how a product that's sold alongside a product that's sold by the same company that manufactures the Transformers in My Little Pony is going to summon demons.
Oh my God. That's a good point. That is a good point.
You mentioned that your products are actually at a local tattoo shop in Salem.
Yeah, Black Veil Tattoo. My products are sold there, and now my products are sold online too. This website, Not Your Average Babe Co. They have my soaps right now too, and I think they might be sold out already. That's
amazing. That's really cool that you were able to get them into a place like right here in Salem, Massachusetts.
Yeah, it was super awesome. I was stoked when they hit me up, because I didn't even ask them. They just slid into my DMs and were like, "Hey, we want to buy a bunch of products. Let's do this." And I was like, yes, of course.
The Beetlejuice ones you also have are definitely very cute. Have you had a chance to see the Beetlejuice musical?
The musical, no, but I know one of my friends recently went to it, and I'm so jealous.
Well, that's right, because you're all the way on the West Coast, and that's actually in New York, I think, right?
No, I'm in California.
That's what I mean. You're on the West Coast, and that's in New York. The Beetlejuice is in New York.
Oh, I thought you were saying I'm in New York, and I'm
no.
Nope.
You're on the West Coast. What's special about your product involving it being like vegan? What's that about? Because I'm not a vegan, so I don't know enough about why is that important, especially when it comes to soap.
Basically, it just means that there's no animal products in it, because a lot of soap products contain glycerin, which is taken from animals from their fat. So it's basically animal fat. So
Really?
A lot of soaps that you've probably used have had animal fat in it.
That's horrible.
That's pretty much all it is. Yeah, and then there's also some like goat milk soap and like weird stuff like that, and I'm just like, why would you wash your body with goat milk?
That I've heard of. I've heard of like the bee wax soap or whatever, which obviously is connected to bees. Common. And I've heard of the goat wax soap because people would like bathe in like milk and stuff. You know that's like
I mean, I'm sure it's great for your skin, but I just don't agree with it. So I don't use any animal products.
I mean, I'm sure if you asked like some, 18th, 17th century countess that, it's not as refreshing as bathing in like the blood of virgins,
Oh, well, hopefully if they're using goat milk, it's that refreshing, huh?
Yeah, definitely. And then, of course, you also have some interesting little you have some interesting ones for like Valentine's Day with the heart ones, like Hex Me Up, and they're like those really crappy candies that you eat at Valentine's Day.
Hey, those taste delicious. Do not slander the heart candies.
Oh my God.
Those are so good.
I just might as well lick the chalkboard. It's the same effect.
Don't roast me like that.
Are they even making those anymore? I thought they were discontinued.
I'm pretty sure they're still everywhere for Valentine's Day. At least for Valentine's Day.
Oh, definitely. When I mentioned the Ouija board soaps, but I didn't know that you was the Ouija board little thing that you move around. Is that like the same size as the little plastic piece that you move around to, summon, Beelzebub and stuff?
It's about the same size.
Yeah, okay. I'll have to use that so I'll know that, I'm not only like, washing myself, getting refreshed or whatever, but I'm also summoning the demons to come take a shower with me.
Which is exactly what you want to do in your shower.
You need someone to wash your back. Sometimes you're just like, hey, I need to summon the ghost of
exactly.
Lizzie Borden, but only if she looks as hot as Christina Ricci in that movie. I think there's a Christina Ricci one, and then there's Kristen Stewart. Not Kristen Stewart. Who just did one? There was one that just came out too.
I have no clue.
Yeah, there's just too many, and none of them are great.
Well, that's a shame.
Is there anything else you want to tell us about Soapus Pocus?
Well, currently I'm on break, so there's not much going on, but I'll be back in about like 3 to 4 weeks probably. I'm going to restock a bunch of things that people have been asking me about, and we'll come out with some new bath bomb designs. So my customers have that to look forward to.
Awesome, Lexi. Thank you so much for taking some time out to talk about your amazing products.
You are scary welcome.